You haven't stated a law that says I can't film a child in public.
It is illegal to film a child.
Are you ridiculous, dude?
Welcome to today's video, where we break down an intense interaction between a civilian and a police officer. During this encounter, the officer approaches a person who is recording in public, raising questions about the legality of filming and the proper conduct of law enforcement. As we walk you through this situation, we'll focus on two fundamental rights: your First Amendment right to film public officials and your Fourth Amendment protection against unlawful detentions. As we begin, we see the civilian filming in what appears to be a public space, an activity protected by the First Amendment. The officer approaches, seemingly concerned that the filming involves a child. Right from the start, questions of legality arise.
How are we doing?
Your contact is non-consensual, sir.
Do you see those lights? This isn't consensual. So I'm stopping you because you're filming the kid, okay? I understand that you have an issue with law enforcement. I understand that you're trying to film me. But in the process of you filming,
do you understand that this is public?
Let me finish real quick. In the process of me filming,
am I being detained?
You filming me?
Am I being detained?
Did you see these lights?
So does that mean I'm being detained?
You are being detained right now. Why?
What reasonable suspicion, articulable suspicion?
Filming a child. That is why. And I was trying to explain that to you, but you want to interrupt me just to ask.
So am I under arrest? Are you going to arrest me for filming a child, sir?
All right.
In public?
Listen.
I don't need to listen to your. Your contact is non-consensual.
You can't ask me a question and then not allow me to answer it. Like how? Why would you ask the question if you're not going to let me answer, Miss? Why? Why even ask the question then? Does that make sense? Does that make sense to ask a question and then not allow anybody to answer? Okay. So, just so you understand, since I didn't get to say it when I initially started talking to you, I understand that you are filming. You are free to film. I have no issue with that. We are on public property. I have no issue with that.
The officer acknowledges that filming in public is permitted, which is a crucial detail. In general, when you're in a public space, you have the right to record what's happening around you, including public officials like police officers. This right is part of your freedom of speech and press, which allows you to document public events and interactions.
Just so you know, I am filming as well, okay? Body cam for video and audio, all right? So, the reason I'm coming over to talk with you is because you are filming a child. I understand that you like to film us and make sure that we are doing our job correctly and proficiently. I understand that. But in the process of you filming me, you're filming a child. Okay? Of all the different interactions that you've had with law enforcement, that is the reason I came over here to speak with you, okay? Do you understand that? Do you understand what I just said?
I plead the fifth, sir.
Okay.
Your contact is non-consensual.
The civilian points out that the interaction with the officer is not voluntary, meaning he feels he is being forced to engage rather than choosing to do so willingly. This is an important distinction because in a voluntary or consensual interaction with police, individuals have the right to refuse to answer questions or to leave if they choose. However, once the officer officially states that the individual is being detained, the situation changes. A detention means the person is not free to leave, and the officer must have a valid reason for keeping them there. Evidence suggesting that a crime may have occurred.
It isn't consensual. This is not a consensual encounter. You are detained. This is not a consensual encounter.
For what crime am I being detained for?
Explain that to
For
you.
filming a child.
For filming a child. Yes. Sir.
Are you for real, dude? In public?
Filming a child? Were you not filming me talking to that child? My point exactly.
Am I free to go, sir?
You are not free to go.
Am I under arrest, sir?
Supervisor on his way. So outside of the legality of this, while we're waiting for my supervisor and you pleading the fifth, out of curiosity, were you in the military? Just out of curiosity, it has nothing to do with this stop. I'm just wondering because you're wearing the hat you're wearing. You're not in trouble by answering. I'm a veteran myself. I just wanted to thank you for your service if you were. That is the only reason I'm asking. If you still feel to plead the fifth to that, that's fine. Okay? But if you were military, I appreciate your service and thank you. Okay? Outside of this interaction, all right? Okay, good talk. So, why are we filming a child?
Your name and badge number, sir.
I know that you can see it, but it's Officer Horton. Badge number ZH462. Okay? Anything else I can answer for you before I go back to my question?
What articulable reasonable suspicion of a crime have I committed that made you detain me, sir?
Why do I continue to answer that question specifically if I've already made that?
Because you haven't stated a law that says I can't film a child in public.
It is illegal to film a child.
Are you ridiculous, dude?
It is illegal to film children. It is. Do you have that parent's consent to film that child? Do you have that parent's consent to film their child? I didn't think so. So this is my supervisor. So I stepped out with him because he's filming a juvenile. Say what? I stepped out with him because he's filming a juvenile.
He detained me is what he meant to say.
That's why the lights are on.
No, he detained me, sir.
I'm investigating, trying to find out why he is filming a child.
And you're his supervisor?
He's not.
And is filming a child in public illegal, sir?
Filming a child? Why are you filming a child?
I was filming your officer here, but he claims that I was filming a child.
All right.
I stated that. I stated that.
What do you mean, just be gone? He f***ing detained me illegally, sir.
You're not detained. You can go.
He detained me, sir. Am I being detained, Mr. Horton?
He's undetaining you.
Yes.
So I don't understand
go,
why.
Okay, so I'm free to go, and I'm free to stay. F*** you, Officer Horton, you piece of... You just illegally detained me. Do you understand what you did, sir? Do you understand what you just did? You illegally detained me for filming a child, sir. What the f*** is wrong with you?
You're free to go. You're free to go, sir.
I sure hope you're going to speak to this gentleman about what he just did to me.
If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with others so they can better understand their rights when interacting with law enforcement. And always remember, knowledge of your constitutional protections is your first line of defense. Thank you for watching.
Every bad police stop starts the same way. Confidence first, law second, and sometimes that confidence crashes hard the second a sergeant shows up. It happened outside a government building, middle of the afternoon. Quiet sidewalk, normal traffic, and standing near the entrance, a man with a camera, just recording. No yelling, no confrontation, just filming from public property. Completely legal, but somehow that turned into a police investigation. An officer walks up immediately suspicious. What are you doing? The cameraman answers calmly. Recording. Simple answer. No attitude. But the officer clearly didn't like it. You filming the building? Yes. Then came the moment that changed everything. Let me see your ID. Boom. There it was. The mistake. Because the cameraman already knew something important. Police can ask for ID. That doesn't automatically mean you have to provide it. And the officer didn't seem to understand the difference. I don't identify unless I'm suspected of a crime. The officer's posture changes instantly. You're being detained. Strong words, but weak reasoning. The cameraman asked the obvious question immediately. For what crime? And suddenly, the officer starts stumbling. You're suspicious. There it was. The favorite fallback answer. Not illegal. Not dangerous. Suspicious. The cameraman stays calm. Suspicion isn't a crime. That line completely shifted the interaction. Because now the officer had a problem. He already announced a detention without articulating an actual crime. And cameras love moments like that. The officer keeps digging himself deeper. I need to know who I'm talking to. The auditor shakes his head calmly. No, you don't. Absolute pressure. Because now the officer realizes this isn't some nervous random guy. This is somebody who understands constitutional rights. And informed citizens are difficult to intimidate. The officer tries another angle. We got calls about you. The cameraman shrugs. Okay. No panic. No over-explaining. And honestly, that calmness made the officer even more frustrated. Because intimidation only works when the other person feels intimidated. This guy clearly didn't. Now the officer starts talking himself into circles. First saying there's no crime. Then saying he's detained. Then demanding ID anyway. The cameraman catches every contradiction instantly. So I'm detained for no crime? The officer hesitates. And honestly, that hesitation told the whole story. People nearby start slowing down watching everything unfold. Because now the interaction feels awkward, not dangerous. Awkward. One guy with a camera calmly asking legal questions, while an officer struggles to answer them. The cameraman requests a supervisor. Smart move. Very smart move, because supervisors usually recognize bad stops much faster. A sergeant finally arrives. Older officer. Calmer energy. Immediately different vibe. What's going on? The original officer starts explaining quickly, recording, refusing ID, suspicious behavior. The sergeant listens quietly, then looks toward the cameraman. Are you on public property? Yes. Okay. Right there, you could feel the energy change. The sergeant asks the officer directly, "What crime do we have?" And suddenly, silence, because there wasn't one. The original officer tries recovering, ways acting suspicious. The sergeant exhales slowly, because now the mistake is obvious. The cameraman explains calmly, "I'm recording in public and refusing to identify because there's no reasonable suspicion of a crime. No drama, no yelling, just facts." And the facts were winning. Then came the correction. The sergeant looks directly at the officer. If there's no crime, he doesn't have to identify. Absolute silence. Heavy silence. Because now the officer wasn't being corrected by a citizen anymore. He was being corrected by his own supervisor. And honestly, that hits different. You could literally see the confidence disappear. The officer steps back slightly. Less aggressive now. Less certain. Because once accountability enters the scene, ego usually leaves quickly. The sergeant finishes, shutting the stop down. He's allowed to record in public. Game over. No more detention. No more demands. Just awkward reality setting in. The cameraman asks one last question calmly. "So I'm free to go?" The sergeant nods. "You're free to stay or leave." Just like that. No ID. No charges. No arrest. After all the pressure, nothing. The officers slowly walk back toward their vehicles. And honestly, that walkaway silence always says the most. Because everybody standing there understood exactly what happened. The officer made a mistake. A big one. He tried forcing authority where the law didn't support it. And the moment somebody knowledgeable, including his own sergeant, stepped in, the whole thing collapsed. That's why knowing your rights matters. Not because it creates conflict, but because it prevents unlawful authority from growing unchecked. And once somebody calmly starts asking the right questions, bad policing falls apart very fast.